Morning guys, it is a beautiful Monday morning, just past 7:15 a.m. I was supposed to be at the gym at 6 a.m. I set my alarm for 5 a.m. woke up, but then I snoozed. This is my first day getting back into a 5 a.m. morning start routine. I've just made my pre-workout and creatine. We're gonna go hit legs. I'm going to be showing you my full week of workouts this week. It has been slightly updated. My leg day has changed slightly, so the leg day that you're gonna see today is a new one, which I'm really excited for you guys to see. We are doing squats again. I stopped squatting for about 3 years, I wanna say. 2 or 3 years, and we're back at it now, and it's feeling really good. I'm feeling really strong. So yeah, I'm going to show you everything that I do this week. Like I mentioned, we are running an hour behind the preferred schedule this morning, but I'm sure that is going to get better as we progress throughout this week. Let's go hit legs. I really need this morning. See you guys in the gym. Happy Monday, you guys. Monday has been and will always be a leg day. It used to be more of a glutes and hamstrings focused leg day, but now it's more of a rounded leg day with a focus on the glutes. Both my leg days are more glute focused. I just prefer it that way, and I've always just found that exercises are more glute biased for me, and I just feel them in my glutes. But I am trying to have a well-rounded range of exercises on my leg day, hitting all the muscle groups. If you're new here, then I always begin my gym sessions with a 5 to 10 minute walk on the treadmills backwards at an incline. Now I do this for my knee health. I've kind of had issues with my knee and knee injuries, especially when it comes to running. So I have added this to the beginning of all my workouts, and I found that they've helped a lot with just my overall knee health and strengthening my knees so that I'm less prone to injury when it comes to higher intensity exercise and my running. And then I head over to the mat and I do my usual stretching. My stretching routine hasn't changed too much since the beginning of the year, but if you did watch my previous week of workouts, you will have heard me talk about how my focus this year has been more on improving my mobility, making sure that I don't get injured when I'm lifting, so making sure that I'm properly warming up my hips, my lower back, my knees, as well as incorporating a few deep core exercises just to make sure that my core is nice and warmed up before I go into my leg day, but also just to make sure that I'm strengthening those muscles. This is key and so important, especially before a leg day, if you want to stay injury free and if you want to be able to lift heavy and get stronger. My warm-ups take anywhere from between 10 to 15 minutes these days, and I know that might sound like a lot, guys, but it is so worth it. If there's one thing you take away from this video, let it be to not skip your warm-up. It is so important, guys. If you guys want to see a more in-depth separate video on my warm-up and what's changed and exactly what I do, especially for leg day, then let me know. I'm more than happy to do a separate video on that. My very first exercise that we go straight into is squats. Now, as I mentioned, I stopped squatting about 2 or 3 years ago. I just felt like I'd hit a brick wall with it. I sort of plateaued and I wasn't able to move past about 60 kg for many months, and it was just frustrating, but something just called me to get them back into my routine, and I have been loving it, guys. I feel so much stronger in it already, and I'm seeing my strength go up week by week, and it just feels great, and really happy to have it back in my routine. So this is your sign. If you need to switch things up, or if you feel like you're getting bored of something, then just change it. Now, our second exercise that we go into after our squats is the RDL. Guys, you already know I freaking love this exercise. It's probably my all-time favorite exercise, I'd say. Definitely my favorite exercise for the glutes. If you are able to master the form on this one and able to progressively overload correctly, then you can definitely feel this in the glutes, and it is so good for glute growth. My top tip for the RDL is to really think of it as a hip hinge exercise, as in sending the hips back as the weight goes down and then pushing through your legs, hamstrings and glutes to get the weight back up. I hope that made sense. And then we move on to goblet squats. Now, guys, don't let this deceive you. I know we are using a lighter dumbbell. I think I went with 18 kg here, which is
fairly light for me, but I'm kind of easing myself into this exercise because I cannot lie to you, I have been skipping it the past few times I've done this workout. Now this is brutal. I start off with the dumbbell and we're working at a pretty high rep range, about 10 to 15 reps, and I think after doing heavy barbell back squats and also the RDLs, this is just killer. And then when I'm not able to do any more, I drop the dumbbell and go into body weight squats. Literally on this first set I only managed 5 body weight squats. That's how bad it is. And because this is so brutal and we're working at a higher rep range and we're kind of doing a drop set with the body weight squats, I only do 2 sets of this exercise, but trust me, that is enough to have your legs feeling like jelly. Good luck if you try this. It's just horrible. As you can see, I am quite literally dying. Our last exercise of the day is the leg extension. I love to throw in a leg extension drop set at the end of a leg day, especially if I want to focus on my quads. And as you can tell, this workout is a little bit quad focused as well. A drop set on the leg extension means that I start off with a weight that I can do about 6 to 8 reps at. And then once I've done the 8 reps, I drop the pin by usually 2 weights. So for example, on my first set here, I went from 59 kg to then 2 weights down, which is 45 kg, and I try and do about 8 to 10 reps on that, and then I drop it again and then go for about 10 to 12 reps and then drop it one more time, and I either go to as many reps as I can or I do a little bit of a hold in between each weight. I give myself about a 10-second rest and breather before going straight back into it. And guys, this is killer, especially when you've worked down to the lighter weight. It might feel like you're working with absolutely no weight, but after having done, you know, a few sets beforehand of the heavier weights, it feels so heavy and it is such a struggle, but it's just so good and it burns so good. And good luck walking after this exercise and after this session.
Good morning, besties. Happy Tuesday. How are you all doing? It is 6:30 a.m. We're already doing so much better than we were yesterday. I am up, ready, just made my pre-workout and creatine drink. 2 scoops today because I need it. I slept horribly. I tried to get myself in bed as early as possible, which I did a good job at, and then as soon as I was in bed, could not fall asleep. I don't know when I fell asleep, and then just kept waking up. Not ideal, but it's fine. We're up because we have to be. We're gonna do it regardless of how we feel, and it's gonna be a good day. We are hitting legs today. No, sorry. Oh my god. We're hitting upper body today. I've not really changed much about this workout. I think I want to. To be honest, there might be some pretty big changes on my training coming up, but I'll tell you guys more about that later on. But for now, I'm just going to keep it pretty similar to what it was before. I do think I want to change it as some of my goals are changing. Let's go have a good workout. I'll see you guys in the gym. Cheers.
Happy Tuesday, you guys. For Tuesday, we have a full upper body day hitting all the muscle groups as well as a little bit of core at the end. Now, I wanted to keep this week of workouts super realistic for you guys so you can see what it's actually like for me to train throughout the week while working a 9 to 5 and while having all the other commitments that I do have in my life. And with this week, I was also trying to get back to my 5 a.m. morning routine. If you guys have watched my videos on how to become a 5 a.m. morning gym girl, you'll have seen all my little tips and tricks, and one of those habits that I think is so important is preparing a cute gym fit the night before. And it honestly just makes all the difference. Having a cute gym outfit to put on, it can completely change your mood and make you feel a lot better about the day and about the workout. And it's just so nice to have something that you feel comfortable and confident in. All my outfits this week are all from Honor Active. If you guys want any outfit details, do let me know. I'm not sponsored at all, but just a huge fan. I always feel so comfortable and confident in everything that I'm wearing. I started off my Tuesday morning session as always with some walking and some backwards walking on the treadmill, and then I did a little bit of deep core on the mats just because I felt like I needed it. I needed to have a little stretch out, especially after those heavy squats on Monday. I also warm up for my upper body day with a resistance band. I just do these over the head. I actually don't know the technical name for these. It's like around the world and stuff, like just really making sure that my upper body, my arms, my shoulders, my joints are all super warmed up and primed and feeling comfortable and ready. I also have to warm up my elbows because those are a little bit of a sticky point for me sometimes. So yeah, once everything is nice and warmed up, I go on into my exercises. I start off with the lat pull down. As always do a warm-up set, at least one or maybe two warm-up sets before you go into your working weight. So with lat pull downs, for example, I start off with about 25 kg or sometimes even 18 kg and just do about 10 reps there just to see how everything's feeling, make sure everything feels smooth and strong and warmed up and my form's okay, and then I go into my working weights. Right now I'm working at about 45 kg on the lat pull down. I use wrist straps on the lat pull down. I don't know if this is a controversial take or not, but when I'm working at those heavier weights, it just helps because the bar is less likely to slip from my hand and it's kind of one less thing to worry about, and I can just focus on pulling the weight down with good form. As you guys can tell, I really was feeling myself in this outfit this day, checking myself out in the mirror. No, I was just feeling so cute and confident. These are the enhanced lift shorts. I don't know if you guys saw my haul, but when I first tried them on, I was kind of hesitant and wasn't sure, but I do love them now. And of course, I love this color. It's in the color rosewood, and it goes so nice with this other red shade top that I have had for a long time. Anyway, my next two exercises, it's a superset. I go on to do the face pulls and tricep push downs, both with the rope attachment. So I love to do this as a superset because it's exactly the same setup, and you just keep the rope on the cable machine at the same height and then just perform one exercise, rest a little bit, about 15-30 seconds, and then go into the other exercise. After that superset, I go into my more calisthenics focused exercises, which is my pull-ups and push-ups. I focused a lot more on calisthenics types of training maybe about a year ago, 2 years ago, but I've kind of taken a step back. I do love this style of training, and I have noticed that I've gotten a lot weaker at it over the past year or so. So maybe I will switch my training a little bit again to get stronger in this. I love being able to move my body weight and be so strong in pull-ups and push-ups. I just think that's such a flex, and I think it's so impressive, and I think it's so important. It's such a functional style of movement that actually has so many benefits when it comes to everyday life, because what's the point of being able to move a heavy dumbbell if you cannot push your own body up from the floor? Since my strength has declined, as you can tell, I was only able to do about one pull-up, and it was a pretty poor one at that. I focused on doing some negatives, and then I tried my best to do some banded pull-ups, but that was a bit of a flop. And then after a few sets of that, I go in with my push-ups. Again, with my push-ups, I'm feeling pretty weak at the moment, so I did negatives, but this felt very nice and controlled. Negatives are one of the best ways to progress when it comes to calisthenics, or most calisthenics exercises. So as you can tell with the push-ups, if you don't have the strength to push fully back up, then try to control the negative portion of the movement. So the part when you're bringing your body down. So I try and control that and bring my body down to the floor as slowly as I can, and then using my knees to assist in pushing myself back up. Once I did as many as I could on them, I did as many kneeling push-ups as I could, and I think I was going for about 50 push-ups, resting in between. I finished off my Tuesday workout with some core. One of my go-tos is decline crunches on this decline crunch machine thingy. For some reason, I don't know what possessed me to grab a 15 kg plate. I think I just had a brain fart and forgot that I usually work with about 5 or 10 kg, but for some reason I grabbed this heavy weight and I was struggling, but I managed to push through, which is a reminder you're stronger than you think. I like to go for 50 reps in total on these crunches, but obviously I do rest in between, so I think sometimes I split it up into 10 reps, 5 sets of 10 reps, or I might go for a little bit more if I can, and I push and go for as many as I can with the weight, and then I'll do some body weight reps as well. Of course, this weight was particularly heavy on this day, so it was a mix of probably 50-50 split between the weight and body weight reps. These always feel so good and burn so good and always leave my core feeling tired and sore the next day. Always try and keep your chin tucked in order to really make sure that your core is engaged. Try not to lower yourself so much that you sort of lose that engagement and you're staying tight the whole time and engaging that core in order to get yourself back up.
Good morning, besties. Happy Wednesday. It is a beautiful Wednesday morning. It is 6:15 a.m. so we're doing 15 minutes better than we were yesterday, I guess. This full week of workouts is also a very realistic full week of trying to get back into my 5 a.m. morning routine. I used my alarm for about half an hour and then I turned it off around 5:30, thinking that I'm fully awake, I'm gonna get up. But then I fell back asleep and I got out of bed just before 6, which is the time that I want to be at the gym. But it's fine. We're doing much better than we did on Monday. Today is a pretty exciting day because I'm gonna do something at the gym that I've never done before. We are doing our first hyrox workout, I guess. This is not an official announcement, but I mean, we've pretty much decided that we are going to compete in a hyrox. We haven't signed up for anything just yet. My boyfriend and I have decided that we would like to do a hyrox together, which is pretty exciting and fun. Yeah, we haven't picked which one yet. We haven't signed up for it, but we have already started thinking about training, and today we're going to do our first hyrox workout, I guess. We're basically gonna do a trial run, one whole run through of the whole race and see where we're at, kind of get like a baseline idea and see how long it takes us. I don't know if that exactly is the right approach, to be honest. I don't know what the right approach is in terms of hyrox training. I'm gonna do a bit more research and see. But I mean, it's a pretty good idea to at least dip our foot in the water, if that's the right saying, and like have a go at everything. I don't know if we're like fully gonna do everything, and I don't know how long it's gonna take. It's like running a total of 8k today is a lot, even just a lot on my body. I've slowly been, I'm pretty much back into my running era. I'm doing at least 1 or 2 runs a week, and I'm trying to build up my load very, very slowly so to avoid injury. The most I've run so far is around 5k, I think, as of now. So yeah, 8k might be a lot on my body. We'll see how the first 1k goes. So if you don't know about the hyrox races, it's basically, there's 8 stations that you do involving a variety of different things, from like rowing, the ski erg, weighted lunges, wall balls. There's 8 of those, and then in between each station you run a kilometer. And then when you do it as a couple, or like as when you do it as 2 people, you both run the kilometers, but then you share the work for the stations. But when you're doing it in a mixed couple, you do the weights that the men do. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting. We'll see, because like 152 kg sled pushes sounds kind of crazy. Wait, I think it's 152, yeah, on the sled push. That sounds a bit crazy for someone like me. That's like almost 3 times my weight. Anyway, very exciting. Yeah, I like to leave my Wednesdays usually sort of an active recovery / cardio day. So yeah, we're gonna do our hyrox workout. We're supposed to get to the gym at 6 a.m, but only half an hour late, not too bad. I'm feeling so much better this morning after my sleep. I don't think my sleep was perfect, but it was so much better. I got to bed at to be honest, I was in bed from like 7 p.m. onwards last night. I mean, I think I was like falling asleep from like 8 to 9 p.m. yesterday. And yeah, feeling so much better. So yeah, wish me luck guys on this hyrox training session. I'll see you guys in the gym.
Guys, this session was crazy, absolutely crazy. I have not had a session like this in a long time. Actually, I've probably never done a gym session like this before. It was a shock to the system, but let me tell you, I had so much fun, especially in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, but in the first half I was literally having so much fun. I was literally smiling. I don't know, I probably wasn't smiling on the outside, but I was definitely smiling on the inside. I think it was just fun. It's just always fun to do something and try something different. But I think I was also really enjoying training with my boyfriend. So yeah, I had so much fun, but it was brutal. So we started off with our run. I think we did a little bit of a warm-up run, and then we go straight in with the first kilometer. The first kilometer was the fastest, but I got progressively slower, and it's very hard to keep pace with my boyfriend because he's running at a lot faster pace. But you know, that is something that we can work on, of course. And then we managed to have a go at every single station that we would do in the actual hyrox race. It was a bit of a faff, like running. Our treadmills are upstairs in our gym, and then everything else is downstairs, so we were constantly running upstairs and downstairs, and all the equipment is all over the place, and you also have to kind of set things up. You don't really want to be taking up room all over the gym, so having to set things up for each station, it was a bit of a faff. And I think probably took up a lot of time as well throughout the whole workout, but it was fun, and it was a nice way to try everything out. And the stations, guys, the stations are actually crazy. Like I mentioned in the intro, when you're doing a mixed doubles, you're working at the male weights. So when it comes to things like the sled push and the sled pull, 152 is a crazy weight, guys, for someone like me to be pushing. As you can see, I attempted it a couple of times. I probably managed to push it like a few centimeters. We actually had a very happy realization here, which was that we had accidentally added an extra plate, so we took that off, which we were very happy about. But still, guys, it was so tough. I only managed to push it a few centimeters. I think there is issues with like the surface that we have at our gym and the actual sled and stuff, but excuses. We tried our best, and we definitely have a long way to go, but that's fine. We've got time to train for the actual thing. Yeah, I felt bad on some of the stations, like I really am not contributing much. It's all up to him, but hey, I'm there to support on the side with my words of encouragement, trying my best. The runs were actually okay. I in general don't prefer treadmill runs. I prefer running outdoors so much more. So yeah, already I wasn't really having much fun, but in general they were okay. I was getting progressively slower, as I mentioned. I think by sort of the third run it was really kicking in, and I was getting really tired. I definitely wasn't able to keep up, and I think I just realized that my pace was a lot slower than I would like. But like I said, like in general, I feel like runs on the treadmill go so much slower. I feel like if I was asked to do a kilometer outside, it would feel so much easier to run a lot faster, whereas inside my pace just seems so slow to get to the actual full kilometer. So it's annoying, but it's fine. We're just going to keep training and hopefully get faster, because I really need to improve on my pace. If I'm going to keep up, we're going to get a decent time. My boyfriend's definitely competitive. I don't really consider myself a competitive person, but I think I kind of am. We probably will have sort of a time goal, but at the same time, we do just want to have fun, because it is just fun. And I'm definitely enjoying the switch up to my training. Like I said, I think when you've been training for a long time, I've been going to the gym for over 5 years, and you can sort of get yourself into a gym rut or kind of just lose your spark a little bit. And trying new things and introducing different things into your routine really helps with that and helps to keep the spark alive. It's just always good to constantly be learning and be growing, and that's what makes things exciting. And you know what, guys, a really funny, strange thing that I realized when I was doing this session in the gym was I didn't look at myself in the mirror once. This whole session, by the way, to give you guys the results, our whole time was like 2 hours. It was like 2 hours 10 minutes, I think, from start to finish, which is such a long time. We're definitely not going to be taking that long in the actual race, but like I said, it was our first time doing it, so there was like a lot of time wasted setting things up and like moving from one place to the other and figuring things out. But yeah, we were training for 2 hours, and one thing I noticed like towards the end was like I haven't looked at myself in the mirror a single time throughout this whole session, which is, I know that might sound funny, but compared to a normal gym session when I'm just like training my weights, I'm always looking in the mirror, especially if I'm training near a mirror. Like most of the exercises are positioned near a mirror, but I'm always looking at myself, looking at my body, looking at how whatever I'm training looks like, or even on an upper body day, I'll be looking at my glutes and my legs. And I don't know, it's just quite a refreshing realization that you're training not because of how you look, and that really isn't the focus. And yeah, I don't know, it just felt really nice, very refreshing. It was just a gentle reminder to myself that going to the gym and training is about so much more than the way you look, which I always try and tell myself and remind myself, but this was a really good reminder. It was really nice to push myself, push my body, push each other. And yeah, we're looking forward to more hyrox training sessions. If anyone's got any tips or advice, we will very gladly take it, please. And that was it for our Wednesday session.
Good morning, guys. Happy Thursday. It is just past 7. It's actually 7:15. I did get up at 5 a.m. Then I decided to let myself sleep in for a little bit, and then I was debating in my head whether to take a rest day today or get up and go to the gym. I mean, I feel okay. I feel like going to the gym, but yesterday was a pretty tough session. My body doesn't feel particularly really sore and tired, but you know, I could do with the rest day. But what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to switch around my Thursday and Friday workouts, because I should be doing my second leg day of the week today. But instead I'm going to do my Friday session today and then do legs tomorrow, because doing legs today after yesterday would just be too much. So yeah, my Friday session is supposed to be sort of like a mobility session, but I don't have much time, so I don't know how much of my mobility I'm gonna do. I should do some because it's important. I don't want to get injured, and doing my mobility work really helps with preventing injury. But regardless, like I do want to get a good stretch session in and get a bit of movement, do some steps. I'm probably going to be in the gym for about an hour. It is really hot today. I'm not going to have any pre-workout today because it's just not going to be one of those sessions. I'll see you guys in the gym. Bye.
Happy Thursday, you guys. We are over halfway through the week. Like I mentioned, this is typically my Friday session that I am doing on a Thursday. I will be completely honest with you, I have kind of been lacking with these sessions recently. I was very good with them at the beginning of this year, and I definitely noticed a difference in my body and how I felt, and in terms of staying injury free. If you've seen any of my other videos, you will have heard me talk about my issues that I've had with my knee, my hips, and my lower back, especially when it comes to training legs and running. I sometimes have some issues come up with those areas, and on a day like this, I have been incorporating exercises specifically to target those areas, to strengthen those areas, and to make sure we're just, fully mobile. It definitely made a difference when I was staying consistent with it, but recently I have been slacking a little bit, so it's really important that I don't skip this. It's really easy to skip things like mobility and the appropriate warm-ups just because they don't look like they're doing much when you're actually doing them, right? So it just feels like, oh, I can just skip that, I don't have time today, or I can't really be bothered, I'll just take a rest day instead. That's always my excuse, but I'm telling you, when you guys put it first and prioritize it, it does make all the difference. And I don't know if this is something about getting older. I mean, I'm in my mid to late 20s now, guys. That's all I'm gonna say. But I don't know if it's to do with getting older, but injuries and things and little pains here and there do just come up, and it's really annoying, and I don't want it to be something that is hindering my progress in the gym or just stopping me from doing things. Something we don't speak about much about, but it is you know, such a privilege to be able to move your body and feel strong and feel capable. And that is my overall goal when it comes to fitness and my health and wellness. For this session, I started off with my usual incline walking, and then I did some regular walking on the treadmill just to get my steps in and a little bit of a light cardio. Then I went to the mat and I stretched for about 15 to 20 minutes. I had a good full body stretch, stretching out all the areas that we have been working on from the beginning of this week, and I love to do this. Just resets your body, it feels so good. There's just nothing like a good stretch. And then I did some work for my hips. I actually followed a workout I found on Instagram, so I tried a few new exercises that I'd never tried before, but it was fun and interesting, and I'll definitely be trying to incorporate a few of these into my routine going forward. But like I said, I didn't have much time, so this was just about all that I managed. I worked for about 10-15 minutes on my hips doing these exercises to strengthen my hips in all the different planes of movement. If you guys want me to talk more about this, I can.
Good morning, you guys. Well, it's almost the afternoon, so I woke up at 5 a.m. this morning. I woke up, went to the bathroom, brushed my teeth, and then I went to lie back down in bed, and I didn't get back up. And then I was very close to just calling it a rest day and maybe trying to show up for my leg day tomorrow, but change of plans. We have actually made it to the gym. I'm currently on my lunch break, so I literally have an hour window to get my workout done. It is so hot today. We've constantly been having heat waves here in the UK. This is like the second heat wave. Hottest day, I think it's like at least 30 degrees, but it just feels so hot. It's so hot in my flat. I don't know why I decided to wear the outfit that I'm wearing today, but it's just what I had planned, so that is what we're wearing. But yeah, we're going to hit our second leg day of the week today. Only have an hour, but I've really been working on shifting my mindset, all or nothing mindset, and just because you don't have the perfect situation for a workout doesn't mean that you can't have a good workout. So ideally, I'd like to have longer for the gym, but that's okay. I'm still going to get a really good workout in, and it's going to be better than if I had skipped it. We're going to focus on intensity, intention, and yeah, going to be a good workout. I've had a little bit of pre-workout. I have not eaten that much today, but we should be fine. I will see you guys in the gym. Bye.
Happy Friday, you guys. We are finally here at the end of the week. It's been an intense week. I've not had a single rest day, so I'm looking forward to a weekend of rest and recovery. But this leg day is a really good one. Because I only had an hour, I wasn't able to do my whole leg day. I did actually skip one exercise at the end, but that is okay. Like I said, I'm really trying to work on this all or nothing mindset, because if there's one thing that's holding you back on your fitness journey, it's probably this. I am still so guilty of this even to this day. I will put off a workout because I feel like I've either not rested enough, or I'm not fueled enough, or simply I don't have enough time. But if you think like that, you are probably not going to get anywhere, and you're probably not going to make half the progress that you would make if you just put aside the perfectionism and just focused on making the progress. A session that's done with, say, 50% effort is better than no session at all. And the more I put this into practice, and the more I show up even on the days when I feel like I'm not gonna have a good session for whatever reason, for whatever excuse I've made up for myself, I actually end up having a great session. For example, on days like this when I'm short on time, I tell myself that it's okay if I have to miss one exercise, or if I have to cut my exercises short by a few sets. I'm still going to make every single rep of every single set that I can do counts. Every minute that I'm in the gym counts. I like to time my rest so I'm not wasting any time. I'll either push the intensity with the weights that I'm using or the amount of reps that I'm doing. I just keep things very efficient, very intentional, and make sure that everything is intense enough, because although I'm not in the gym for the hour and a half or the 2 hours that I would like to be, I can still have a really good and really efficient and really effective workout. For today's leg day, I started off with Bulgarian split squats, which are so horrible, and usually I do like to use heavier weights, but that means that I need longer rest periods, and on this day I didn't have enough time for that, so I used lighter weights but still pushed it with the amount of reps that I could do with that weight, kept my rest periods short and sweet. And then once I was done with that exercise, I moved on to the leg press. I do a narrow high stance on the leg press so that it targets my glutes a little bit more, and then after that I go straight into calf raises. The other exercise that I usually have on this workout is glute hyperextensions, which is just the perfect finisher for this overall glute day. It leaves me feeling so sore, but we didn't have time for that. Oh well. We still had a really great workout nonetheless and got a great pump in. And that is it, guys, on my realistic full week of workouts for this week, whilst balancing a 9 to 5 and everything else that life involves. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't already, then please do subscribe to see more from me, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.